All right, let's try to find two horizontal asymptotes of the following function. F of x is equal to square root of 9x squared plus 5 over 2x. Remember that the horizontal asymptotes are defined based on the limit at positive infinity and also limit at negative infinity. So let's look at the limit at positive infinity first. Alright, so we have a limit of f of x as x approaches positive infinity. Alright, so first thing I would do is I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 1 over x. Right? Then since there's a square root here, so I would like to rewrite 1 over x as square root of 1 over x squared. So when x is positive, 1 over x is exactly the same value as square root of 1 over x squared. Right? Then once you multiply out, 2x divided by x gives you 2. Right? These guys both have square root, so we can put 1 over x squared inside the square root. So you have a 9x squared divided by x squared gives you 9. 5 divided by x squared gives you 5 over x squared. Right? As x approaches infinity, 5 over x squared will approach 0. So you're left with square root of 9, which is 3 over 2. Right? So since the limit is 3 halves, we know that the horizontal asymptote is y equals 3 halves. Right? So let's look at the limit at the negative infinity, which looks like this. Right? It's very similar. Right? So you have a limit of the same function as x approaches negative infinity. And we do the same trick, multiply top and bottom by 1 over x. Right? So here's the biggest difference. Right? Since x is approaching negative infinity, which means that the x is negative, then 1 over x is also negative. But we cannot replace 1 over x by just the square root of 1 over x squared. Because of this square root of 1 over x squared is positive. So we have to put a negative sign in front so that we have the correct sign. Right? Then we can multiply them out. You have a 2x divided by x is 2. Right? So put this negative sign right in front and put 1 over x squared inside. So you have a 9x squared divided by x squared gives you 9 just like before. And a 5 divided by x squared gives you 5 over x squared. Right? As before, as x approaches negative infinity, 5 over x squared will still approach 0. So you are left with negative square root of 9, which is negative 3 over 2. Right? So since limit is negative 3 over 2, we know that the horizontal asymptote is y equals negative 3 over 2. Right? So we have two different horizontal asymptotes. Y equals positive 3 over 2 and y equals negative 3 over 2. Right? So let's use the GeoGebra to sketch the graph to see if we can see two separate horizontal asymptotes. Right? Here's what it looks like. So I already put it in. Right? So the green curve is the graph of f of x. And as you can see, y equals negative 1.5, which is 3 over 2. And also y equals positive 3 over 2. They are horizontal asymptote. Right? That's it. I hope that this was clear.